I'm out here and enjoying the weather. This is what I like doing. I was gonna take a walk out there on that log just to kind of see what it felt like out there. And I realized I'm pretty sure I'm standing on water that's frozen. That's probably why there's nothing here. The bank's right here, but I can literally feel the, yep, nope, not going that way. Not doing that, guys. Okay, so the video here is about the most dangerous axes. There's two of them. There's two types of axes that I feel over years of dealing with axes that are the most dangerous. And we're gonna get into which ones they are and why they're so dangerous. So let's just get into the video. I really wanna go walk out on that log there. Oh, there's a wooden cup out there. Oh, I really want that wooden cup. All axes, hatchets, and tomahawks are dangerous. They have bits on them and some have spikes. They're sharp and they can cut you. I get that. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you guys over the years of axe throwing and using axes and all the reviews that I've done on YouTube and different social media platforms, which two I really pay attention to when I review or when I go outside to use them and throw. And the first one's gonna be a hatchet that's anywhere between 8 and 12 inches. Those you have to be careful of. And here's why you have to be careful. Normally speaking, if you set up to do a single rotation, which means you're throwing your axe for a single rotation and the bit strikes cleanly into the target, you're gonna have to get close, right? You have a very small hatchet. Now, if you throw slower or a little bit under moderate, you probably don't have too much to worry about. But if you're throwing kind of hard or you're throwing as hard as I do, you have to get close for a single rotation. And when you throw your hatchet into that target, if it bounces back at you, you don't have a lot of reaction time. Especially with me and the way that I throw, I put my body into my throws, which means I'm coming in and boom, all my weight's into my throw and I'm moving forward towards the target, right? So if I miss and I get a bounce back and it comes at me, I don't have a lot of time to react because I'm using such a small hatchet, I gotta get close. You got to be careful of those small hatchets. My suggestion would be, if you're not proficient in axe throwing, do not try to throw something 8 to 12 inches really hard, because you have the scenario where one of these things will bounce back at you. Trust me, I know. We can go through all the scars that I got. I mean, guys, they're just plentiful, right? You guys know. I've done a few of them on this channel. It's inevitable. No one's perfect. People are going to miss their axe throws. And sometimes they bounce back at you. So be careful with those hatchets, axes, and tomahawks that are between 8 and 12 inches, because they will bounce back quickly at you at a single rotation if you're throwing hard. The second axe, hatchet, or tomahawk that I really pay attention to and that I think is really dangerous for axe throwing are all steel axes. And it doesn't even have to be a small one, guys. I'll be honest with you, a lot of times it's the longer ones, like the cold steel recon hawk and the Smith & Wesson extraction and evasion axe. Those are like 17 to 18 inches long. For some reason, I don't know why, but the longer those all steel axes get, they want to bounce back at you and they will come back at you fast. The cold steel recon hawk, if you haven't seen the review on that one, go back and check it out. That's what gave me this little pretty nick here. Came back at me, guys, and I was at a single rotation. And that thing's like 18, I think, inches long. I wasn't very close. And I threw it hard. And I will tell you guys, that thing came back at me fast, to the point to where it was coming at my face. The only thing I could do was do this. And as you guys know, I told you, I've got a remedy for that. It's coming. In February, it's coming. I got a whole new look coming for you guys to check out. It's going to be awesome. But you got to be careful of these all steel axes. The reason why I think the all steel axes, especially the long ones, want to bounce back at you so fast and so quick with almost the same amount of force as you've thrown it is because they're not wood handles. They're not nylon handles. They're not polypropylene. They're not glass-filled nylon. They're not polymer. They're all steel. And what happens to an all steel axe, hatchet, tomahawk when you use it for chopping? You can feel the vibration going down the handle. Wooden handles soak up that vibration. Most of the time when I throw a wooden handled hatchet, axe, or tomahawk into a target, I don't get a lot of bounce back. If I do, it's very minimal. Even throwing as hard as I do, it can land within a few feet of the target. Normally speaking, I don't get wooden handled axes flying over my head or going crazy at me. And guys, I will tell you this, with all steel axes, I've had some, and I'm not kidding, that have hit the target and have come back at me and flew over my head. Cold Steel Recon Hawk was a prime example. I came into the target, slinging it sideways. It hit the target, the bit hit. The handle came back around and hit, and it shot back at me right at my face. I kind of went like this and took it to the hand. It's inevitable. It's going to happen when you're doing axe throwing, especially when you're throwing really hard. These all steel axes, hatchets, and tomahawks, you really need to give them respect when you're throwing them, because if you don't, you can get hurt really bad with those. That force travels down that handle. It doesn't soak up the force like a wooden handle does, so it's literally like a ricochet, and it comes right back at you sometimes. Be mindful of your skill level, be mindful of the axe, hatchet, or tomahawk that you're throwing, and be mindful of what you're throwing at. You guys are out there throwing at different wood types, which are going to cause the all steel axe or maybe the wooden handled axe to maybe bounce back at you differently. I normally use softer wood like pine, so sometimes my wooden handled throws, if I do miss, are going to die right there where they land at. Now, if you use harder wood, you can expect those bounce backs to be a little harder back at you, right? So that's something else you need to consider that I don't think a lot of people do. Be mindful of what you're doing when you're going out here and using these axes, hatchets, and tomahawks, even for chopping. Mostly for axe throwing, because that's when you can get really hurt really fast. And you don't even try. You can just be playing around. The next thing you know, the thing's coming right back at your face. So be mindful. The best thing that you can do when you start axe throwing is to get to know your axe, hatchet, or tomahawk first. Slower throws at a single rotation, and then you can work your way up to throwing harder, throwing different ones, going back for distance and all that. Just be mindful of those two axes. I think, in my opinion, over years of axe throwing and watching all these different things happen, guys, I can tell you stories of all the different types of scenarios I've been in with these things bouncing this way, that way, doing the craziest things. I'm talking bit strikes into the target, the handle kind of rotates around and then shoves the bit out and comes back at me. The weirdest stuff you would never think would happen in your life. So I've got a little bit of experience with this situation and these scenarios with these axes, and I'm just trying to help you guys out. Be mindful of what you're throwing and what you're throwing at. And don't go past your skill level. Stay within what you can do, and then you can progress further. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments section what some of the axes or hatchets or tomahawks you've used that have been a little bit more dangerous than your common ones. I'm curious to know what your experience is. Thanks for all the support, guys. I appreciate it. And until next time, see ya. It's always for the love of the axe. I'm going to get out of here. Sun's going down, and it's getting a little chilly now. So, see ya.